Let me show you my bellsyphon. So I just transferred the water from here to here. Even though I use the small pump, sometimes when I want to clean the storage water tank, I will use the larger pump. So it's now transferring the water from here. So let me grab my bellsyphon. As you can see, the aeration in this pond is quite strong because of the diaphragm, the vertical pipe from there, right? So this is my bellsyphon, as you can see. So there's some holes I made with this drain, bottom drain. So this bottom drain with holes, half of it doesn't have holes, and the half above have holes and gap in this area to avoid clogging. Now, as you can see, if I will remove this siphon cover or the bellsyphon cover, the debris above we're going to drain. So this were the duckweed and azolla, and it will help regulate the temperature because the sun will hit that part. And I would like to have some azolla and duckweed above, also to help the ammonia. So this is the setup. I put this is the 4 inches pipe, and that's the 3 inches pipe. So this is a funnel type drain. As you can see, it will sink at the bottom once there's a water inside of it, right? Already sink. So meaning, if I will cover this, there's also a water flow from here. So like this, there's a gap that will suck the debris under. So it's like SLO or solid SLO. Like, the meaning of SLO is solids lifting overflow. So instead of overflowing at the top, the debris at the top will be lift at the bottom or suck at the bottom. This technique is the solid will lift underneath. Since I'm cultivating crayfish, they are bottom critters, and there's a breather that it will not clog. There's a small pipe that I drilled from here, and I wrap it with silicone sealant, then zip ties. Then this is a end cap that I cut. So let me cover the bottom drain for me to activate the siphon lifting underneath, so it will float, right? So what I will do is pour some water So since it will not work if I will pour some water underneath, I'll just wait. The water will rise above this level. Sometimes this siphon will activate even if it's not full of water, but this time I've seen that the siphon is it's kind of bit floating. So I'll just wait until the water will go above the bell siphon. So this is very useful because from the word solid lifting overflow, since I am cultivating crayfish and they are bottom critters, there's a lot of debris underneath. So once you have enough aeration, dissolved oxygen like this, bubbles, it will help break down those organic materials. And if you will check the bottom floor, there were some detritus algae. It's like an algae from the decaying organic material. Crayfish will also eat that, but if there is a plenty of food, crayfish prefer pellets or vegetables. So as you can see, I'm just waiting for the water to rise above this bell siphon for me to activate the suction on the bottom drain. So water is continuing flowing. I just turn on the bigger pump. So in my setup, this is 3 feet. The width is 3 feet. The length is 3 meters. 3 meters in width from here to here, and then the length from here to here is 6 meters. The height of this is about 2.5 feet on the sides, since this is a funnel type. At the bottom, around 3 feet. So bear with me. I'm trying to take a video on this water slowly rising up, since the suction is not yet activated. So I'll just wait for the water to take over above, or rise above on this. So again, if you look at my device, this is my device. So the purpose of this is solid lifting overflow, lifting the solids underneath. A bit here. So some other breeders of freshwater lobster or crayfish or yabbies, what they do is, if they have aeration and with a large pond, with a strong aeration like this, they will not use filtration, right? And the other way around, if you have filtration with some water pipe producing dissolved oxygen like that, the water is falling down, they will not. They will often use aerators. They only use filter system or pump, water pump. But for me, I use them both. Why? Due to the pond that I have, this is a breeding pond at the same time a grow out pond. So this is the only pond that I have. A large pond that I have. For me, this pond is not enough, and the density that I'm planning is around 1,000, and the growth rate, meaning faster it grows. The faster it grows, I would need more dissolved oxygen. As I've said earlier, if you have a strong aeration, dissolved oxygen will have a lot of dissolved oxygen, and dissolved oxygen will helps break down the leftovers or the food that it was not eaten. Meaning, if I will feed my crayfish every 3 hours, feeding management for faster growth every 3 hours, and I feed my crayfish 6 times or 5 times, right? Every 3 hours and multiply by 6, there could be a lot of food leftovers, and it will cause spike of ammonia and will kill the crayfish. Now, since I have strong aeration, it will liquefy the food debris, and then once it will lift underneath or drain underneath with this bellsyphon, meaning I overfeed my crayfish. Then once it will be liquefied, because it will be break down from solid to liquid, the water pump will be drained from here going to there, then to the chambers. So from the chambers, that's the time I will filter those liquefied foods or leftovers and waste from the crayfish. Then I will make sure that the water has nitrogen cycle on it, meaning it has good bacteria that will help break down those ammonia or nitrates that will create from the liquefied waste. So meaning, for me, if I will put more crayfish on this pond, high density stocking, a lot of crayfish, like 1,000, I would need more aerator to break down the food from solid to liquid. Then I need a pump for it to suck all the debris and then filter it on the filtration that I made to promote to promote nitrogen cycle. The nitrates, nitrites, and ammonia will be cycled with good bacteria, or it will be eaten up or consumed by good bacteria. That's the reason why. So until now, it's not working yet. I don't know. Maybe there's some clog on my bellsyphon from here. All right. That's it. Still floating a bit, but hopefully the air will come out on the breather. Okay. It's not moving, meaning it's now activated. So I hope you learned something from me. And by the way, once I will clean up this pond, I may transfer my craylings, the baby crayfish, on this large pond because I already removed some of the fishes like the guppies, swordtail, and mollies and platy for me to allow the bird female to breed inside of this. But let me see if so. Let me show you. Now the water is now drained and there's a lot of debris. By the way, I just told you in my previous video, this setup is only intended for crayfish, but since I also love fishes, I tried to, and this tank is for water storage only, but I would love to try something like aquaponics because the tilapia is producing a lot of waste and good for aquaponics for plants. That's why I also try to breed tilapia and koi as well. So even if I don't want to cultivate fish, since I also love fishes, I also just tried something. But hopefully you've learned something from this crayfish pond. There's been a lot of rain, like for 2 weeks in a row, every day. That's the reason why the turbidity or the hardness of the water, it's not clear, it's turbid. The general hardness of the water, the GH, because of the rain. But I'm sure there's some minerals that good for the crayfish. However, I overfeeded my crayfish. As I've told you, I'm trying to do some feeding management every 3 hours. So I'm planning to drain this water. Even I have a filtration from here. I may now to turn off this pump and you will see. So the suction is coming from here. It will clean up the debris underneath. So this is also a way of checking the tilapia and koi. So I may release the water from here. Apologize for the noise. For me to break down those dirt underneath. Then fill out some water from here. So the Kraylings is now 1 month old, and 1 month old, guys. Some other Kraylings went to an inch, like 1 inch, but some of them are still small, right? This type of hides is effective. Some of the Kraylings or the baby crayfish went there. So 1 inch is about from this length, an inch from here. So there are other Kraylings got an inch already. So there's a possibility like this, from head to tail. Head to tail. So the possibility of Kraylings, you might need a month, right? Not a month, because a month, some of them reach already an inch, some of them are still small. So you might need 2 months for you to have an inch and a half and 1 inch, based on this experience that I've shared to you guys. So I will create another video, separate video from here. I will not wait for this Kraylings to get 2 months. I might transfer them to the bigger pond for them to have a faster growth. And I have varied females from here as well. This varied female here, and this is one of them. The others, like 4 of them here. 4, 5 all in all varied females. And I might check the other crayfish once I drain a bit, like half of this water. So check also the varied females. And then, so this is a cycle. You might now learn with me, since I don't have a mentor. This is now a cycle, from breeding to Kraylings, having crayfish pregnant, having a mass breeding. There's a lot of them breeding from here. Then checking the varied females, if there's an egg, separating them. And once you have separated the pregnant one, you might as well wait another month, separate the young ones, the babies. But the nature of crayfish needs a large area, meaning I don't want to wait 2 months for those baby Kraylings. Since I don't have big fish that will eat in the Kraylings, I put some screen from here so the fishes will not jump off from there. Or koi fish are known to jump, but if they jump here, unfortunately, or that will not happen, at least I have some screen that it will not transfer from here. And if I will release Kraylings, baby Kraylings, the fish that has a big mouth, that the Kraylings is enough for them to swallow, those are the fish that I will avoid. Even the Kraylings as faster swimmers. But if there are a lot of them crowded, there's an opportunity for the fish to eat. So I will create a separate video on those Kraylings, what's their growth rate, and transfer those Kraylings to this pond. For now, I'll just show you the bellsyphon. for you to get an idea. As you can see, there's a lot of duckweed still floating because of that bellsyphon. And the good thing about that bellsyphon is a solid lifting overflow, meaning the solid underneath, or the debris that was already liquefied from the dissolved oxygen from aeration, it will easily filtered from my filtration. Right? So there's also a net from there. This is my filter media. This is my small pump. This is my large pump. Both of them are running, as you can see. So I will turn that off because it will consume a lot of electricity. So from here to the bellsyphon, and it will a funnel type, then it will drain, and then it will goes from here, then it will be lift with a small pump to here, and then it will distribute from this repel pond to here, right? And from there, on the bigger pump, it will suck up the water from here, and it will distribute from the ponds. So Japanese matting on the side, K1 media, charcoal with some rocks and sand. So that's my filtration. So if I will turn off the bigger pump for me to save electricity, it will flow from there to here, down. There's a pipe underneath at the center. From here it will drop the water. It will lift the liquefied water. It will be catch on the Japanese matting like this, and then it will flow on the K1 media. Then I drill a hole. It will be transferred to here. There's our overflow. If in case the water will stop up, because it will flow to the bigger pond, it will also flow to here. That's the reason why there's a pipe from that area. So I will replace a new water from here. I will turn off the bigger pump, and you will see the small pump will continue to provide water. So I turn off the large pump. So small pump is flowing now from here. I don't know if you can see that water flowing. That one. So from that area, there's a pipe underneath to here. Then there's also a drain from the filtration drainage, if you can see my previous video. So that at the center there's a pipe, so it will lift the solids and stock up from this Japanese matting. And I have guppies all around the place to eat the larvae of mosquitoes. So I will cut the video. I will replace the new water from here using this water on the this water came from the government, a tap water. Alright, bye for now. See you in the next video.